Hello and welcome to another episode of Mole Thoughts here on the Mole Under Management channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we have a look at one military camp. Now before we start, a few things I have to mention. First things first, if you're new to my channel and you don't know how I do my reviews, it's pretty simple. I will tell you how the game works, what it has to offer. Then I will tell you how I feel about the game, what I like, what I don't like, and then hopefully at the end of it you can make your own educated decision if you want to buy this game or not. And I sometimes tell you if you should buy it under certain circumstances or not. I'm not giving out any arbitrary numbers because I feel like they just don't work and everybody has a different idea on which number we should take anyways, so why do it? Now let's talk about one military camp. I have to say, it is really tough sometimes for me when you have a game you really enjoy, you like how it plays, you love the idea in it, you are a huge fan of those kind of gameplay decisions they're putting in there, and then there is this one thing which just breaks everything. And that is unfortunately what's going on with one military camp. But before we get to that, let me explain you what this is. Well, this is a game where you are managing your military camp, right? And if you have played any of the Evil Genius series, it took a lot of ideas from Evil Genius 1 and 2, and that's not bad. I love the Evil Genius series, so having more Evil Genius gameplay, but with a military camp, and this time we are the good guys, I think, at least, I totally support and enjoy, right? So I'm totally for all of this, and I don't mind that they take the ideas from Evil Genius. Now, if you have never played Evil Genius, let me quickly explain what you are doing here. Your country was overthrown by an evil military power, and you are the last military camp still standing, fighting the good fight and trying to conquer back the rest of your country. To do so, well, you have to rebuild your military camp and you have to hire all those useless recruits, aka civilians, and form them into the next killing machine on the battlefield to win back your country. And you can transform them into a lot of things, right? We have spies, we have communication experts, we have tank drivers, we have artillerists, and many, many more things. Like, as I said, there is a lot you can specialize in, and you will all need them for specific missions. You then send your soldiers on, and as you can see here, for this mission I need a tank driver, I need a spy, and I need an aviator. I'm always stumbling over this word, god damn it. And you need all them to start this mission. Then they're going on a mission for a few minutes. Sometimes you also have to make some decisions on the missions, and then they will, well, win the mission or lose the mission, and that can end very badly for the soldiers you just sent out. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are sending out the best of the best. And it's not just training you are doing for the soldiers, right? That is just one part of their military mission, but you also have to make sure that they have the right places where they can sleep in, and then they need food, and yes, they even need entertainment like a bowling alley or a cafe, or you can even build a cinema where people can just go to watch some movies after a hard day at the military camp. And you might think, wow, that sounds all pretty serious, doesn't it? No, it isn't. This game doesn't take itself serious at all, as you can already see when you're looking at the art style, when you're looking here at those animations. This game is not serious. Think about it more like military camp meets police academy, or, well, if that is too old for you, because I've just outed my age, think about it more like military camp meets Fortnite. That's what you get. It's funny, it's comic-esque, it doesn't try to be serious at all, and I love that. I think they do a pretty good job. Like, I love the animations they're putting in. There's a lot of detail here in the game, as you can see, even with the buildings inside. There's a lot you can just look at, and you can see them doing their work and have a good time with it. And then, of course, you also have to take care that this military camp is running well, and that you can then send your personnel on the mission to free up your country. And of course, like in the Evil Genius games, you can get attacked by the evil force directly in your military camp, and you have to do something about it, but we will get to that in just a few minutes. Also, very important, while you are playing this game, there's also a huge research tree just waiting for you to be uncovered. And you might think, okay, well, why do you call it a huge research tree? This isn't too much. Yeah, but keep in mind, this is just level 1. Right? You can then put them on level 2, level 3, so there's a lot here to research and to unlock. And those are also a lot of hours of gameplay just waiting for you. Okay, oh, this sounds pretty good, Mole. Yeah, this sounds really good, especially as an Evil Genius fan. You should probably have a look at this game if you were done with Evil Genius 2 and you just want more Evil Genius in your life. Right? Right. And normally I would recommend this game at this point. But unfortunately, I can't. Because the game is failing at a very standard thing. And it is so bad that it basically stops you in your track enjoying the game. You've probably already noticed it when you are looking a little bit around on the interface. But I'm losing money. Actually, I'm losing much more money than it shows me. I've just slowed it down a little bit right now. But you are losing money because everything you are building here in this game, which is quite a bit, costs also quite a bit of money. You can see it here, right? Like a cinema costs you 18,000 gold coins, dollars. Let's just call it money. It costs you 18,000 money. And all the other things are also quite expensive. Plus, hiring a person also costs a lot of money. They are not cheap, and the better they get, the more expensive they get per day. This one is already costing 450 money per day. This one is only costing 300, but as I said, the higher they get in their training, the more expensive they become. And at some point, you are spending so much money that you have to make money. Right? That makes sense. The problem is, the game is giving you no money. You're running out of money because there is no money to be made when you are playing survival strategy games and all that. Economies are always hard because you really have to understand how you use the resources which are available to you. But the problem is, there are no resources available to you. Let me explain to you how you make normally money in this game. For that, we have to go on the world map. And one of the main ways to make money is by freeing up towns. And then you can say how much money you want to make. Keep in mind, when you want to make all the money from them, they're getting very angry at you. And they will not like you that much. So you have to keep that in mind. You're also getting money by freeing up territory. Not as much as you would get from a town, but still you are getting a little bit. But even with all the territory here, I am in the red. And the only way to get more is to free up more territory. Duh, right? The problem is that, yes, a mission gives you around 9,000 money, but that's a one-time only thing. And then you have to do all the missions in the territory, so the territory is yours. And by the way, yes, they can reconquer the territory, but it's not enough. You have to invest into so many recruits and so many buildings that when you finally capture something, you have already spent all the money you would get from this. So every time you make some money, it is getting immediately used up by the extra personnel you needed, by the extra buildings you needed, by the extra resources you needed, and you are not creating enough money. And I really hope when this game entered early access 6 months ago that they would listen to the community and would fix this. They haven't yet, and it seems like they're very adamant to not touch any of the money making on the world map. And yes, there are ways on how you can make money in your military camp. First things first, your recruits can now spend money in the entertainment building. You can see it right here. For the snack machine, they're paying $11, and for the games, they're paying $37. And the cinema is actually far more expensive and makes more money. The problem is, that is still not enough. Let's say one person spends around $100 per day. That is still 275 bucks they are costing you per day. So you're definitely not making it back through the entertainment buildings. You're just slowing it down. Another way on how to make money, and this is where the game really just becomes weird, is by building production buildings like this one, which is now the ammo workshop. Then you are building conveyor belts like in Satisfactory or in Factorio, and then you put that into the warehouse, and in the warehouse you can then decide that you want to sell the wares to one of the retailers and get a little bit money out of it. But before you think, haha, infinite money making cheat unlocked. No, the provider has a stock, and whenever you sell something, that stock is getting filled, right? And if you're selling too much, they're overstocked and they will not take anything from you till they have used up some of their stock, which just takes a while. But that is basically the only ways how we can make money. And this is helping a little bit to keep you afloat, but it doesn't really do anything for the longevity. And at some point, if you are not moving fast enough, you're bleeding out of money. And now you might say, well, Mo, that sounds like you have to move faster then. Yeah, but you can't. See, this is not really like an issue about being too slow or being too fast. It's really just the game tells you, hey, for the next mission, right, I want a tank driver, I want a spy, and I want a pilot. Or for this mission, I want a tank driver, I want a spy, and I want 2 pilots. And then you have to train those people, but they are getting very, very expensive. So you are eating up all the resources you would get from this mission before you actually do the mission already. And the best way to play this game, and I know this sounds crazy, is to basically hire and fire. The people you don't know, you let them do something else, or you fire them so that they are not eating up your funds. And, well, it gets even worse because we have to talk about the attacks which can sometimes happen on your camp. They can send in spies, or they can send in drones, which will then attack your base. And you need some towers like this one here, right? This is a spy surveillance tower where you, again, need a hired person for this, who is then looking around if there are spies in the vicinity and stopping them to drop bombs on your buildings, which will damage the building, which has to be repaired. You cannot use the building, that costs money again, yada yada. But the whole building and the person also costs money. And you can see that I have another one here, but I have multiple buildings which are not manned right now, which are protecting me against drone attacks, because it's too expensive right now. And I would just lose even more money and run out of money even faster. So the game is moving so quickly that no matter what you do, you cannot keep up with your money income. And at the end of the day, you're not taking care of your little military base and your recruits anymore. You are taking care of the money flow. You're managing your money the whole time. Sure thing. And that's really unfortunate because taking care of your military camp is already a lot of work and it's really fun. And I don't understand why the developers are not just giving you much more money in this and making money not a super problem. I'm not saying that you shouldn't care for your money, but again, this is just, they didn't really thought this through. They made a huge mistake somewhere in their calculation. And even though people have been pointing this out since the beginning of early access, they're not fixing it. And with that stipulation, I cannot recommend this game, because at the end you will run out of money, and then your whole gameplay is just useless, right? You have wasted tons of hours, and there's nothing you can really do about it. And it is such a shame. So, yeah, I will be brutally honest here. If you haven't played Evil Genius 2 yet, and you like what you are seeing here, go play that. Because it works. And it's actually thought through when it comes to the economy. If they're fixing the economy, I recommend this game. if you love those type of games. I totally do. 100%. No question. But as long as they haven't fixed this, I just can't. Like, I'm running on the bare minimum when it comes to the doctors. I'm running on the bare minimum of defenses, the bare minimum of research. Like, I'm running the bare minimum of recruits, which can do something when I send them on missions, right? I am like the bare of the bare minimum to keep this camp functioning, and I'm still in the rats. And it's just because I cannot make more money. It is not possible. It's unfortunate. With that said, I hate to make those type of reviews because I always feel like I have a really cool indie game here and which feels really solid, and then just something bad happens. But again, for that price tag they're asking, which again, it's a quality game, but as long as they're not fixing the economy issues, I just cannot recommend it. And yeah, with that said, we're at the end of the video. If you still enjoyed this review, please don't forget to leave a like and also consider to subscribe to the channel. We are doing much more here than just reviews on the Mole Under Management channel. We are also having some gameplay sometimes. I'm doing some deep dive videos on some of the strategy games. Like, this whole channel is dedicated to strategy games. Building games, management games, real-time strategy games, turn-based games, like all what a strategy you can find here on the channel. Check out the other videos if you are on it. And again, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.